Saxton.
I'm Joey Cundiff.
This is Blue Collar Sports Talk, and we have been out for a minute.
We have.
We've been out for a minute.
It's been a good 2 weeks.
It has.
2 weeks.
Joey had work the first half of last week, and then
You did something super straight.
Hey, amazingly straight. Thanks to Z92, I won concert tickets to go see the King himself live. George Strait in Vegas. Don't ask me about my gambling. Lost a lot of money. Gained a lot of good memories.
And some more roads for Vegas.
Yeah, I was tired of donating from afar, so I decided to donate in person.
Right.
That being said,
noble of you.
That being said, folks, we hope we can jump right into it and let's talk some shit. As always, this episode is brought to you by FHC Family Insurance. Call Chris for a quote. Get a policy. 928-524-3754 or
3760. You go ahead and you let them know.
The good old boys.
We sent you.
Blue Collar sent you. All right, now let's go into some more good news.
Not quite. We both broke 100.
But we did, but I did it better.
I wouldn't say better. Is it the same?
Let's talk about pick'ems, folks. I'm still winning. Spoiler alert.
Okay. It's 102, 105.
Wait. Who's got 105?
I don't know. Word out, he likes men, so just be careful. It's a very odd number to be at.
105, folks. Joey is that much closer to buying his ever so loving Jalen Hurts unit and wearing it all off season.
It's going to really suck when Gardner Minshew is the starter from here on out too.
It's more of.
I'd much rather have the starter. Yeah. I'd wear a Minshew jersey.
That's why I'm thinking Hurts.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate you.
All right, let's go on to the blue collar rush hour.
Right.
I'm going to let you start us off with
Thursday
boys.
Thursday night. It was a great night. Not really. It was a terrible night. This was one of the worst wins I've ever seen. They did win.
They did.
It was 27-17. There was no run game until Tony Pollard broke it open with a 58-yard run.
When was that again?
Yeah. Minus the 58, okay? Let's just pretend it's not there. He had 20 yards rushing.
Nice.
Yeah. So, the averages,
What can you do?
Right. Dak threw 26 of 40, 238 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 pick. Taysom. He might be
Taysom climbing that hill still.
He added another L to the hill. And another one coming up, maybe spoiler. He went 19 of 41. It's below half.
It's below half.
264 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And one of those was a pick six to a big guy.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch.
But 11 carries, 101 yards, and then who cares on the receiving end?
Yeah, I mean...
Go ahead.
Really
Take me.
By the way, folks, we both picked them.
No, we did. Yeah.
And we both picked Mr. Thomas Brady Everington the third.
Everington.
Yeah, it just sounded
nice.
classy.
I like it. Take me to the ATL. It was close there for a minute.
It was. They had me worried. 30-17 final. Thomas took it to him. I'll start with his stats.
Go ahead.
38 of 51.
Favorite player of all time.
A little bit better than Taysom, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's like you reverse it.
368 yards. 4 of them things. And it's becoming a little bit more common. He's getting a little bit more loose with that cannon. Another pick.
By another big guy. It's big guy season.
It is.
Shout out Jimmy.
But I love the big guy celebration. You know what I mean? Old Leonard Fournette, 13 carries, 44 yards, 1, 2, 3.
Playoff Lenny.
Chris Godwin, thank you, by the way, for fantasy this week. That did work. 15 receptions, 143 yards. What a day. Matty Ice.
He was ice. He was on fire, and then he got ice cold real quick. It's like icy hot, you know?
Yeah, you need to talk to Shaq.
You do need to talk to Shaq.
30 of 41, 297 yards.
Tell me about
C-Pat. 13 carries, 78 yards. For a second, I thought he was going to be the star of the game. And then this guy, Gage, I'm going to be honest, I never heard of him until this week.
Well, you never watch football. It's okay.
11 receptions, 130 yards.
Yeah, stepping up with Ridley left.
I was just going to say, I think we can thank Ridley for that.
Okay. Get better soon.
Right. Why don't you take me to the Windy City?
The windiest of cities. Kyler Murray's back.
Yeah.
And he sure showed it. 11 of 15.
It's better than it sounds for
it really is. It's a lot bigger in person. 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. No mistakes, though.
None.
No. James Conner toting the rock.
Hey.
You know?
Ruthless.
Ruthless. 20 carries, 75 yards, but there's more on the receiving end. 2 receptions, 36 yards, and 1 tutty. Yeah, that was long.
Hey, get that man a new contract.
Yeah, that's a lot of yards. It looks bigger in person yet again. The red, speaking of it again, the Red Rocket.
Oh my goodness.
26 of 41.
You know, there's good days in football,
and then there's
bad days in football. And Mr. Dalton had himself a bad day. Don't write home to mom about this one.
Sorry. Just let her think that you're gone.
Yeah.
229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks. David Montgomery came back, thank you, in fantasy.
Yeah.
21 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown. And then Mr. Grant Sr. Big names.
Not
62
really.
yards and 1 touchdown. Who cares?
I was just going to say, not really big performances.
No. Take me to a heartbreak where I put my faith in Joey B to get me a point.
He did.
I'm not wearing the jersey today, so spoiler alert, he did not get me the point. Go ahead, tell him what happened.
I stuck with Herbie.
For obvious reasons.
You know, I mean, let's start with Joey B. Okay, first off,
be easy.
I mean, he's my boy. You know I love him.
You saw his pinky.
41 to 22 in favor of the Bolts.
Yeah.
All right, Joey B, 24-40, 300 yards, a tutty, but one, count them, not one,
but 2
of them mistakes.
This game had
costing him.
It did. This game had a lot of playoff movement too.
It did. Let me tell you something. Let's talk about Mix-Match for a second.
Okay.
Joe Mixon, 19 carries, 54 yards on the tutty. He did have 1 fumble. That cost them the game. That was his first fumble since 2018. Sorry, first fumble that he had lost since 2018. That, my friends, is something that you just hate to see, especially from a damn good running back. I mean, shit happens. Cost him the game, but shit happens.
It does. Tell me about T.
T dog.
Tee it off.
Higgins, 9 receptions, 138 yards, and he got into that pretty little painted area one time.
And 1 L.
Yeah, big L.
1 big L.
Let's talk about Herbie, huh? 26 of 35, 317 yards, 3 tutties.
Yeah.
And a pick.
You know what it was? The bangs were out of his face this time.
Hey, and 1 big thank you from yours truly on fantasy. You didn't.
I don't appreciate it.
Austin Eckler, 14 carries, 59 yards and a tutty. But I mean, if you've noticed, even on games where he has a lot of carries and not so many yards, he's still very much a big reason why they're moving the ball, converting on 3rd downs.
That's weird that you say that. He had 2 fumbles.
He did.
Not only 2 fumbles,
he
2
did.
lost fumbles.
He did, but that defense is showing up.
Yeah, but Austin
surprisingly
was on my fantasy team.
Yeah, it hurt you.
And it hurt me.
Mike Williams, 5 receptions, 110 yards. Have yourself a day, kid. Take me to the biggest surprise of the weekend.
In the big D? In the D. Dan Campbell leading the troops. Hey, don't call it a comeback. They ain't eliminated yet.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Oh, there is.
Okay, all right.
29 to 27.
Ain't kitties anymore.
Get him a pennant. Did not go winless.
That's what I'm talking about. We will not do 08 again.
No, never. I heard Eminem's opening up a few more restaurants, and just to celebrate for them.
Coincidence?
I think not. Kirk Cousins, 30 of 40. 340 yards, that's kind of cool. 2 touchdowns, sorry. Madison, 22 carries, 90 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Justin, Big Dog Jefferson, 11 receptions, 182 like Blink, and 1 touchdown.
That kid is making a name for himself.
He is. And a few losses in there, too.
That's right.
And Jared, give it to him. Golf.
I like that. Let's keep that.
25 and 41, 296 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. If that's what it takes to win, then that's what it takes. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be pretty.
No, it doesn't. It's in Detroit.
That's right. Tell me about my boy Jamal.
71 yards.
Okay.
And 17 carries.
Let's do it.
And a lot of celebration.
That's right.
Mr. St. Brown, 86 yards on 10 receptions and a touchdown.
And one huge reception.
That was the 4th and 2 to win it, no?
Come in big.
Take me to MIA. Who gave me? Who left? The Giants were MIA in this one.
I picked Los Gigantes this time, and I was in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Miami 20-9.
Tell me about the neck. Mr. Mike Glennon. He drinks milk and it's expired by the time it hits his stomach.
Maybe it's my fault. I had more faith.
That man got more throw than Kenny K. Let's keep it going.
23 of 44, 187 yards and a pick.
Yeah.
Absolutely 0 touches in that painted area. Saquon, 11 carries, 55 yards.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Ingram, 4 receptions, 61 yards.
Who cares?
Who cares?
You know,
this whole organization. Who cares?
The Patriots would have beat them, and they played in Florida. That's not fair.
Let's go to Tua. Did not turn the ball over. 30 and 41, 244 yards, and 2 of them bangs.
That's a good day.
Gaskin, 15 carries, 44 yards. But let's talk about the J-Man. Waddle, getting it done. 9 receptions, 90 yards.
What's the average on that?
Oh, that's 10 yards a carry.
There it is.
I mean, a reception.
Oh, you almost had it.
It was all great until Waddle got hurt at the fourth quarter.
It happens.
Hey, they still sealed the deal.
Yeah.
Honestly, folks, who cares about that game? Why don't you take me to do another?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, I care because I got the Eagles making the playoffs. I hate them, but they will make the playoffs. The porn stash is back.
Hey,
we might have to pay tribute to that man.
Minshew, getting it done.
33 to 18, not in Philly.
No, I'm talking about his new team.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, they were in New York. I said that at the beginning.
Okay, but I was just making sure they're like on the same page here. Gardner Minshew, my dog, dressed up as Top Gun afterwards. He did. 20 and 25, 242 yards and 2 touchdowns, and it was a lot of awful completions. It really was a lot of back foot throwing. That's okay. Miles Sanders, 24 carries, 120 yards. Not one crossing.
Not in the painted area.
Dallas Goddard. It makes me so happy that Philadelphia has a man named Dallas on their team.
Well,
They just want to be us
okay.
so bad. 6 receptions, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the tight end. Go ahead and who lost that one? Whose rookie is that? Who owns that man?
Which one are you talking about?
Mr. Add another L to the name Wilson.
He just came back.
Okay. 23 and 38, 226 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Coleman, rushing. Who cares? Sorry. Moore, 6 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
Not a bad day.
No.
I mean, could have been better with a W, right?
Yeah. I believe their starting wide receiver just had core surgery. Corey Davis. It showed it somewhere. Maybe. Yep. Corey Davis, season-ending injury.
As if the Jets didn't have enough issues.
No, now I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
They've got a laundry list.
I think that did it in.
Coffin.
It was not Mr. Wilson's play.
But I just want you to know, since we're talking about rookies, whose rookie is still on the field?
Is it
not on the field?
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because
Dalton is the starter.
Well, that's but Wilson doesn't look like a starter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
He can have the worst season ever.
He is our guy. No, we're not doing that. We're doing averages.
No.
Yes.
No, because the game will be
averages.
Well, this is a game of averages. Another day.
It's a game of averages.
Let's talk about the first elimination of the season, huh?
Caught me by surprise.
Houston.
Mm-hmm. They need a massage.
Oh my goodness gracious! They need to call Chris and get a policy.
Oh, they do.
31-0. It was a real close game there.
Real close.
I thought they had it.
If they would have scored 32 points, they would have won.
Hey, if they would have scored 32 points before the end of the fourth quarter, Mills, my boy, figure your shit out. I don't know if it's you or the Texans. I mean,
what do you mean?
I don't know at this point. They're both so awful. 6 of 14.
Sign Cam.
6 of 14, 49 yards. I mean, why even show up?
Yeah. It's a real Mac Jones-ish stat line there.
Burkhead, 8 carries, 30 yards. Who cares?
Keeping the dream alive for the white running back.
That's it. Brandon Cooks, 3 receptions, 38 yards. Who cares?
Their leading rusher and receiver, that is a total of 68 yards.
Show is. Hey, their leading receiver took the majority of your quarterback's yards. Carson Wentz, 16 of 22, 158 yards and a tutty.
Don't call it a comeback.
A very Carson Wentz game as of late. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't break 300.
No.
Doesn't get in the end zone a whole lot.
Doesn't turn it over that much, unless it's in overtime.
And with the game on the line. Jonathan Taylor, very what'd you call him? Johnny T.
Johnny T.
That name's sticking. Johnny T. Flashing in keys.
Oh, okay.
32 carries, 143 yards, and 2 tutties. I mean, fun fact. This is 7 games in a row.
He has 18 touchdowns. That is as much as the Giants have.
Okay.
I'm serious.
You don't got to kick them while they're down.
I will.
Pittman Jr., 6 receptions, 77 yards. Have yourselves a day. Why don't you take me to the Sin City and a game that got me a point?
Yeah, a team with no name. They won. They continue this. I wonder if they just came up with a name, what would happen? You think they'd be Super Bowl contenders?
I mean, this year anything's possible, right?
That's true. Taylor Heineman.
Anything's possible.
Not quite. Maybe when he shit himself. Paul Pierce, yep.
Back off.
Who knows? Allegedly. 17-15, Washington won. Taylor the Heine, 23-30, 196 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Mr. Antonio Gibson, 23 carries, 86 yards. Logan Thomas, he went down with I believe it is a ACL tear. So a lot of injuries this week. 3 receptions, 48 yards, and 1 touchdown. Mr. Derek, I am hopping out of the carpool. Not really, because I think I might be picking him next week. Went 28-38, 249 yards. Guess how many touchdowns? Guess how many interceptions? Mr. Josh Jacobs. He barely has more carries than kids right now.
My man's got 9 women and 9 kids.
That is batting 1,000. 13 carries, 52 yards, and 1 touchdown. I wonder if he'll beat Jonathan Taylor in touchdowns with kids this year. He's halfway there.
Half his contract's got to go to Charleston.
Hunter Renfrow, 9 receptions, 102 yards. Take me to Mr. Sunshine on a cloudy day.
It's just all cloudy for me.
It really is.
Well, let's start with Mr. Lawrence, huh?
Yeah.
They lost by 30 points. I know another team that lost.
Yeah.
37-7.
Fun fact, they would have beat the Texans.
They would have beat the Texans. 37-7 in favor of the city that lives off of kale.
Yeah. You let a kale-eating city beat you, Florida. What are we doing?
Mr. Lawrence, 16-28, 145 yards. Hey, at least he didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
But he didn't help. That's right. Carlos Hyde, 9 carries, 24 yards, and a tutty. Who cares?
That is the
only offense of the day.
That's you wait. You have a group project. You kind of dicking around. They ask you to speak. My name's Joey. When you get there, you get the A. You know what I mean?
You pass the ball to the smart kid.
That was where the touchdown came from.
Treadwell, 4 receptions, 62 yards. Who cares? Stafford.
Tell me about the staph infection.
It's 26-38, 295 yards, how many tutties? And that staph infection might be contagious. It goes down to the boy Michelle. 24 carries, 121 yards, and a tutty.
A legend.
Moving ain't done. Cooper Kupp, 8 receptions, 129 yards and a tutty. My boy is infecting the team.
Oh, he sure passing it around, man.
Let's go to Pittsburgh.
There's sneaky wins. There's a sneaky quarterback. Allegedly back in the day, he was he pulled some things out where you don't think it's gonna happen, and he's still here, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't understand.
He won a game, and it doesn't make sense against the Ravens. I think the Ravens are now becoming the Bills, to where you expect them to start winning a lot more, and they're not.
They're not.
They lost 19-20 to Big Ben, the Tree, Roethlisberger. I love it when they.
Timber.
21-31, 236 yards and 2 touchdowns. Najee, 21 carries, 71 yards, no touchdowns. But Mr. Johnson, Deontay, 8 receptions. Okay, 105 yards, and all of the touchdown passes.
You mauled me. All me.
They said, Juju, go ahead. He wanted to be a who? Yeah. You and Juju had a little bit of TikTok going on, huh?
Yeah.
A little TikTok fame going on.
We did for a minute.
Both got injured.
Both fell off.
Both got injured. Fell off.
It's hard to dance. One knee.
That's right. Mr. Lamar went 23-37, 253 yards. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He was also the leading rusher. Surprise.
Yeah.
With 55 yards. And Hollywood Brown, 5 receptions, 55 yards. A lot of
Hollywood,
who cares? Maybe like Hollywood on set with like Alec Baldwin,
Yeah.
where it's just,
At least he took a shot. Allegedly. Hey, game recognizes game. He hit 100% of his shots.
Game on the line, okay? Steph Curry or Alec Baldwin? Who's the sharpest shooter?
Game on the line. If he misses, and we all die, take Alec Baldwin to the grave. Anyways. That got dark.
That did.
I'm going to take us to the next game that pissed me off the most. So here's the thing, folks. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago the Niners need to sound the alarm, call the retreat.
They're okay.
Run home. No, I stand by it.
They're okay.
But then you got old Russell Wilson. He sometimes figures it out, sometimes doesn't. Anywho, 30-23 with the key safety. A key interception and a key 4th and goal stop. Okay,
that was not Russell Wilson, by the way.
No, I'm not saying that was all Russell Wilson. I'm just saying all these things took place.
But that's what
in
I'm
his
saying.
favor. Jimmy G. Let's start with him. 20 of 30, 299 yards, 2 tutties, and 2 very important interceptions. Elijah Mitchell, 22 carries, 66 yards, and a tutty. But Mr. George Kittle is back.
Is he back?
9 receptions, 181 yards, and 2 tutties. Now let's start with the winning
He looks like the homeless version of Cooper Kupp.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Definitely. Russell Wilson, old Russ, 30 of 37, 231 yards, 2 tutties, and a pick, but homer.
Oh, tell me about Homer?
Getting it
we
done.
Talking about Simpson?
No. We talking about the man that's getting it done for him. Because for whatever reason, they're not using anybody else to run the ball.
They ain't got nobody else.
3 carries, 80 yards, and a tutty. Remember, Homer's a receiver. Tyler Lockett, 7 receptions, 68 yards, and a tutty. Ultimately, Seattle getting it done.
They got it done.
Take me to another annoying game.
The fact that this was on Sunday Night Football, it was a shame. And the 2 quarterbacks had quite the duel, put up quite the stats.
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy Two Gloves did not. He threw 2 something. They lost 9-22 for Mr. Two Gloves. A lot of twos. You're going to see this. Ready? 2 Gloves went 22.
Deuce is wild.
Yeah, 22 out of 40. There's your 2. 257. Another 2. Wait, there's one more. There's 1 touchdown, and Teddy Two Gloves threw 2 interceptions.
Take the damn gloves off.
It's time. Maybe the hands are smaller. So Williams had 23 carries, 102 yards. So many 2s with Teddy Two Gloves. And Judge Judy, 4 receptions, 77 yards, was not laying down the hammer.
He wasn't.
Mr. Patty Mahomes.
Mahomie. We'll come on one more.
No, we won't. 15 to 29, 184 and 1 interception. I think Jackson could have played a very similar game up there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 14 carries, 54 yards. Who cares? Mr. Williams, 3 receptions, 60 yards. These are pretending teams.
I've been saying this.
I know.
I've been saying this.
Now, the most wildly entertaining game. This should have. You know what they did? They took the VHS of Top Gun, okay, and they put this game over it because it's that much more.
Right.
It was action packed.
Hey, through the air. Hey, speaking of action packed, the party pack, the heart attack, Mac Jones get it done for 312 passes and 19 yards.
Yes.
Very important stat.
Very.
They won 14 to 10, folks.
While wearing a scuba suit.
Yes, I saw that. Oh no, you told
I told you. Yeah, I'm breaking
underneath.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. He'd look like a real buffoon if he had it above.
Damian Harris, 10 carries, 111 yards and a tutty, and a very big reason why they won that game.
Yeah.
Smith, reception, 12 yards. Let's talk about it.
I don't know.
12 of those 19 yards.
I feel like we're on the radio with these kind of stats, you know?
The AM radio.
We're not even quite I just watched Hot Rod the other day. The strains.
Josh Allen, 15 to 30, 145 yards and a tutty. He also carried 6 times for 39 yards.
He did.
Stephon Diggs, 4 receptions, 51 yards. Ultimately, folks, what we're telling you about the Buffalo Bills is who cares?
Who cares? If you're winning quarterback, not injured, you have 2 completions, it's
Preach.
That's
Preach.
You know, you're stacking the box and they're still running it on you. It's a little,
Let's go into the blue-collar workhorse of the week. I'll let you start it off.
Real quick. It's going to be easy.
What you got?
It's Mr. Jonathan Taylor.
Johnny T.
32 carries, 143 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Simple. He's the workhorse. They relied on him. And yet again, he is getting it done.
How many yards was that again?
143.
143 on how many carries?
32.
32. Well, let me tell you about Mr. Damian Harris, who only got it done in 10 carries, 111 yards, and a tutty. And one main reason why Belichick celebrated that win last night.
Workhorse, not racehorse.
Okay. You got me there.
Okay.
All right, this next fella I'm about to bring up, he needs to call Chris immediately, get a policy, because that man is a loose cannon on the street. His family's in danger. His house is in danger.
Allegedly, he wears protection.
FHC liability of FHC insurance liability of the week, Mr. Red Rocket himself, Andy Dalton. Let me talk to you.
I was thinking it was Teddy Two Gloves for me. You pulled a switcheroo on me.
26 of 41, 229 yards, 2 tutties.
Yeah.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 big ass mistakes, and another reason that Chicago is a terrible football team.
Okay. I hear a lot of hate. It's just
it's well placed.
It's Chicago. Let's be honest.
What you got?
My FHC liability of the week is Mr. Taysom Hill. I saw a meme. Taysom Hill plays how people say Lamar does. And that is very true. That is very true. Taysom went 19 of 41.
Ouch.
264 yards. 1 stubbed finger.
Okay.
2 touchdowns. Okay. But not 1. Not 2. Not 3. But 4 big ones. I don't know. It's just he needs to call. He needs
Talking about our haves and our have-nots. Let's start with the haves on the AFC side, huh? I'm gonna go with.
I know where you're going, and it sucks. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
Yep.
Okay, but they're not gonna win the division.
Okay.
The Chargers are gonna win the division.
Okay.
Joey B's gonna find a way.
Okay.
And Mr. Wentz, he went there.
Yeah.
It's gonna get him into the playoffs. It's happening with Johnny T.
This is why it sucks. The Chiefs in Buffalo are the two biggest have-notters. I don't know. It's a coin flip right there.
Okay.
But I still have them both winning. I just flipped the coin and they both got it.
Okay.
It's heads twice.
Okay.
It's I got the Chargers, Buffalo, Indy, and the Chiefs in my halves.
Not Cincy, huh?
Not Cincy. Cincy's gonna miss out.
Oh.
They got a little bit of a rough schedule.
That Joey B? I'm not giving up on you, buddy.
Yeah, you fucked me over this week.
My have-nots: Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Vegas, Cleveland, and Mr. Tublos.
Yeah, it sounds like you're reading it from like the early 2000s, you know?
it did go back. Well, Pittsburgh was pretty much everybody else is right where they needed to be.
Full circle, you know?
Yeah.
My have-nots, I got Cincy, Pittsburgh, Raiders, and the Browns, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I really thought the Browns were going to win that division this year.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, hottest team in football right now, New England. Right behind them is Indy.
Yeah.
Behind them is Indy, you know what I mean? The Chargers, when they're on, they're on. But when they're off, God help them.
Yeah.
The Chiefs.
They got a close one this week.
Yeah,
the Giants.
Yeah, it's gonna really test the
Keenan's out with COVID, and they're still favorited by 10.5 points. Okay, it's just perspective that one.
The Chiefs, they're not consistent enough for me. The only reason why I have them in the halves is because I don't see those other fools beating them out. Buffalo has the highest chance. Let's go. Give me what you got for the NFC. The halves, or do you want to start with the have-nots? I'll leave it up to you.
Optimism,
I like it.
The Rams, just because they're right on the edge.
Yeah.
Eagles and 49ers.
Okay.
Those are the two most favorable schedules right there. They're both going to win out, and the team without a name will be left out of the playoffs.
All right. Okay.
This year, you have to have a name to get into these playoffs. You know?
I'm gonna go ahead and counteract it.
Oh, you're going to counteract it?
I'm saying the Rams.
Okay.
But remember that one song? I've been in the desert on a horse with no name.
Yeah.
Worked out for that fool, and I'm keeping it with Washington. Scary Terry's coming to town, boys. Rams, Washington, and Minnesota's going to figure it out.
No.
Minnesota will figure it out. Because like I said, San Francisco, they're on my have-nots. Sound the alarm, call the retreat. Paul Revere's coming down. The Brits are coming. Okay? Philly, they're going to find a way.
Philly
They're going to find a way to fuck it up.
They will.
Carolina, they lost that. Atlanta, Noggins. Ooh, that, because we seriously don't know anymore.
No. Jameis gone. Who cares?
Jameis, all I did was Winston, just kidding.
Yeah. MVP for week 1, and that was it.
MVP, most vacant.
Yeah. It's time for
another beer. I was like, what the hell?
Well, yeah, the Vikes are not making the playoffs. Hate to break it to you. They're in my have-nots in caps.
Well, all right, folks, that does it for us tonight. We will be back on for a Wednesday night show. Joseph here has plans at the Ritz-Carlton.
We drinking at the Ritz-Carlton, you know what I mean?
Stay tuned for the gram and the photos on that. Other than that, that's all we have for you. Thanks for talking some shit. Y'all have a good weekend.